Good morning and welcome back to Strive Academy's virtual STEAM activities. It is Monday morning. Who do I have with me? Bailey? And Bailey, what's special tomorrow, Tuesday? What day is that?
My birthday.
Your birthday, and how old are you going to be?
6.
6, yeah. So happy birthday to you tomorrow. All right, well, we're excited because we are investigating Mundo today. So it's kind of two-part. We're going to look at how to create the Mundo, which is really easy, and then how does it simulate the moon with big dents or holes or craters forming on the moon. And Bailey and I actually made this Mundo earlier, but we're going to show you how to do it and what it looks like when you're done making it, right? Okay. So, for today, what you're going to need, 2 simple ingredients, cornstarch and conditioner. So, you have to have both of those. Food coloring is optional. We colored ours, what color did we make it yesterday?
Blue.
Blue, and then we made the mistake of putting it down on our table, and what happened? We got a little blue stain, right? So, you want to be careful if you use food coloring, just make sure that you keep it on a plate. Like a paper plate at all times.
You're going to need a bowl and a
You're
spoon.
going to need a bowl and a spoon to mix, and then we're going to need a cup and a half a cup measuring cups. Now, here's the thing, as with everything that we do, make this fit your needs. If you don't have a ton of cornstarch or you don't want to waste that much conditioner, just cut the recipe in half or quarter it or whatever you want to do. No matter what you do, it will work. And then, of course, don't forget, go to our website, www.striveacademy.org, and download the worksheets, or at least just have them out in front of you as you're doing this, and you can write the answers on a separate sheet of paper.
Are you allowed to use shampoo for it?
That's a great question. Are you allowed to use shampoo? Well, it's not that you're not allowed to use shampoo, but I don't think that you'll get the same results. But that could be a variable to add to this as an extension, might be to try it with shampoo. You want to try that later? All right, we'll try that later. Okay, once you have all of your materials on your handout, you're going to fill in your title, which is Mundo, and you're going to fill in your hypothesis, which is how do you think craters form on the moon? So when you look up at the sky at night and you see the moon, you see all of these dark spots. And those are craters. Some have been filled in with lava, some have not. That's another extension that you'll get to look at. But you have to start to wonder, like, how did all of those holes or craters get there? What do you think, Bailey? How do you think all the holes got in the moon?
Because,
like, how do you make a dent in something?
When it's up, when it goes up, since it's going like this, it gets too strong going up and it might dent.
Oh, it might dent, like from all the wind. Okay, so maybe wind, maybe things in the atmosphere, I don't know, something you'll have to think about. Okay, then we're going to ask you as always to sketch a design of your setup. And again, we like to ask you to do this mostly so that you don't go into it not having a good idea of what you're doing. So if you're forced to kind of sketch what you're going to do, then you really think about what materials you're using. You're not going to waste materials and that kind of thing. So what you're going to do is in your bowl, you're going to add a cup of cornstarch to your bowl. We already made the mess earlier. And a half a cup of conditioner. And you're going to put those in and mix them together. Now, if you want to add food coloring, you want to also add in the 5 or 6 drops of food coloring before you start mixing it together. You don't want to try to add food coloring to something that's not very liquidy. And be patient. You're going to keep stirring and stirring and stirring. And at first it looked really gross, didn't it? Yeah, it was like really, really sticky. But eventually you'll get it to a good consistency where it's not super sticky. And if it doesn't get to that, just add a little bit more cornstarch. But once it gets to like that good consistency, you can pick it up with your hands. And a really important step is going to be to knead it in your hands, just kind of back and forth. And you want to do this until it doesn't really stick to your hands anymore, okay? And at this point, if your food coloring is all mixed in, it shouldn't really make a mess on your hands. We didn't get any on our hands, did we? No.
Yes, we did.
We did? Maybe just a little bit, but it washed off, right? Okay. So as I said before, if you add food coloring, you want to make sure to keep it on a plate because we got a big blue spot on our table. And you're going to end up, it's going to look like this. Okay, now we had more when we made this yesterday, but we also have 3 kids in our house that all wanted a little bit of moon dough. So this is the amount I was allowed to use in the video. And moon dough is pretty cool. It's not slimy and gooey like slime. It's stiffer, but then it's also kind of has a kinetic sand consistency. Just wait, please. Where it can kind of fall apart too. And then you can smush it back together and then it can fall apart. So an extension that you might do with this later today is to add on like some building challenges with it. But before we do that, we want to see how craters form on the moon. So hopefully you guessed that craters form on the moon by things hitting it really, really hard. Okay, and so to simulate that, we're going to use some small rocks or maybe some bouncy balls or marbles or whatever you have around the house. And we want to see what a crater looks like when it forms on the moon. How does it form? And I'm just remembering that I skipped a step. So under data collection and observation, go ahead and draw a picture of your finished product before we start on our results. You good? Okay. So what you're going to do is hold one of the rocks a little bit above the moon dough, and you're going to let it go. Do you want to do that for me? Okay, so right on top of the moon dough, and you're going to let it go, and you're going to see what happened to your moon dough, and under results, you're going to write 1 drop and either write or draw a picture of what it looks like. So what happened?
It got it has there's stuff out of it, so there's it looks
like
a
little dent.
Scratch.
Yeah, like a little scratch. Okay, do it again. Same spot. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Okay, this can be a good lesson in accuracy and precision too. And so you get the idea. You're going to keep doing that, and each time under results, you're going to add another drop and write or draw what it looks like. What you'll eventually see is that as the rock or things tend to pound the surface of the moon dough or the moon, it ends up making a big crater, a big dent in it. And so you can repeat that as long as you want. It's up to you. Eventually it will kind of crack and fall apart. You can smush it back together and put it back together to redo the activity if you want. And then for the analysis questions, we're going to look at what formed on your moon dough when something hit it. What do we call those dents on the moon? And what hits the moon to cause those dents? That might be something that you have to Google. If you want some extensions, we want you to really do a little bit of research into the moon. So the first question says, why do so many asteroids hit the moon and form craters, but not many hit the Earth and form craters? And we know some things have hit the Earth, but why do so many more things hit the moon? Well, that's because the Earth has something to help protect us. And so we want to know, what is that? What do you find? You can always add some math to this. So you could have a ruler each time and measure the size of the dents and see how they get bigger. And then finally, go ahead and Google a map of the moon. What you're going to notice is that there's tons of dents on the moon. Some of them have been filled in with something, and some of them have not. And so the question is, what filled in some of these craters that are super duper old? They're called Maria. So that can be something to look at. Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed this activity. Please post your pictures on Facebook and tag us with the hashtag STEAMWithStrive. Also, check out our website at www.striveacademy.org and check out the new digital breakout where you can solve some clues to help Harper play with her soccer ball. We hope you enjoyed this. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.